Across the United States, stories circulate constantly, online, in communities, sometimes even from pulpits. These narratives claim hidden truths, secret agendas, or unseen powers controlling events behind the scenes. Many involve religion, politics, or questions of morality. And sometimes, faith itself becomes the lens through which people interpret extraordinary claims about the world. Today, we embark on a thoughtful, objective, and analytical journey. We will explore why certain conspiracy theories gain such traction in Christian communities and critically analyze their impact on believers, researchers, and religious leaders alike. This discussion aims to foster awareness and encourage deeper discernment within the faith. Faith has always used stories to teach, to guide, and to inspire. Parables, biblical accounts, and moral lessons shape communities and values in profound ways. These narratives help us make sense of the world and our place within God's grand design. They provide meaning and structure to human experience. However, when narratives begin claiming secret knowledge about how the world truly operates, knowledge supposedly accessible only to a select few, they can become deeply controversial. Such claims often challenge established understandings of truth and authority. This raises critical questions for theological reflection and community leadership. So, we must ask, where exactly is the line between legitimate spiritual interpretation of current events and conspiratorial thinking? How do we navigate that boundary respectfully yet honestly, upholding both intellectual integrity and spiritual conviction? This distinction is vital for healthy faith. Conspiracy theories, whether religious or secular, typically share common characteristics. They often posit hidden agendas controlled by powerful, malevolent elites. These narratives offer simplified explanations for genuinely complex events, appealing to a desire for clear answers in an uncertain world. They frequently foster deep distrust of mainstream sources of information. This distrust extends to media, government, academic institutions, and sometimes even denominational leadership. Everything becomes suspect, except the conspiracy narrative itself, which is presented as the ultimate truth. This creates an insular, epistemic environment. But here's what's particularly interesting for our audience. Why are these narratives especially compelling to some faith communities? Is there something inherent in certain religious worldviews that makes individuals more susceptible? Or do the same universal human psychological needs that draw people to conspiracy theories simply manifest within religious contexts too? Throughout American history, religious groups have occasionally adopted conspiracy-like beliefs. We've seen early anti-Masonic movements in the 1800s claiming secret societies controlled the nation. Repeated apocalyptic or end times predictions have been tied to specific political events, often with dire warnings. Claims about hidden political influence corrupting the nation's Christian foundations have also been prevalent. These patterns keep repeating across different eras, often fueled by similar conditions. Periods of rapid social change, economic uncertainty, and perceived moral decline tend to foster conspiratorial belief. Such anxieties can lead to a search for simple explanations and clear enemies. So we must critically ask, how have these historical anxieties, often legitimate concerns about societal shifts, shaped the modern religious narratives we observe today? Are we merely witnessing old patterns re-emerging in new digital forms? Understanding this historical context is crucial for contemporary discernment. Today, social media spreads ideas faster than at any point in human history. A claim made in the morning can reach millions by evening, often without critical vetting. Christian conspiracy theories in recent years have addressed topics ranging from political elections to public health, from educational curricula to entertainment industry symbolism. They frequently frame current events as spiritual warfare. This framing presents literal battles between good and evil playing out in politics and culture. While spiritual warfare is a legitimate theological concept, its application to specific, often unsubstantiated worldly events warrants careful scrutiny. Religious leaders must guide their congregations in discerning authentic spiritual battles from mere political or social disagreements. Here's the paradox we're living in. Does easy access to unlimited information actually increase genuine understanding? Or does it amplify misleading claims by giving them the same platform as verified facts? When anyone can publish anything, how do we distinguish truth from fabrication, especially when claims are cloaked in religious language? Research shows that conspiracy theories can fulfill deep psychological needs present in all of us. They offer a sense of control during chaotic times when the world feels unpredictable and threatening. This perceived control can be deeply comforting. They also provide community belonging. Individuals become part of a group that knows the truth, while others remain blind, fostering a strong sense of shared identity and purpose. Furthermore, these theories offer moral clarity in an ambiguous world, presenting clear villains, clear heroes, and clear battle lines. This simplifies complex ethical dilemmas. So here's what we need to understand. Why do some believers gravitate strongly toward these ideas, while others in the same church, reading the same Bible, reject them completely? Is it about personality differences, life circumstances, or how we process information? Or is it something deeper about how we understand faith's relationship to the world and its challenges? These theories don't just exist in people's heads, they have real-world consequences. While some argue they can inspire activism and civic engagement, they also create serious division. Families find themselves clashing over beliefs about what's truly happening in the world, straining relationships. Congregations split when some members embrace conspiracy narratives that others find dangerous or embarrassing. Public discourse gets shaped by claims that may have little basis in verifiable fact, eroding trust in institutions and shared reality. For religious leaders, navigating these divisions while maintaining congregational unity is an immense challenge. It requires both pastoral sensitivity and theological clarity. So we must ask, how do faith communities balance freedom of belief, which is genuinely important, with discernment and responsibility? Can churches create space for healthy questioning while still pushing back against harmful misinformation? And who decides what counts as misinformation versus an unpopular truth, especially when spiritual authority is invoked? Studying these narratives helps us understand something important about faith, society, and human psychology. It's not about dismissing believers or calling people unintelligent. That approach is both unfair and counterproductive. It's about recognizing that we all have psychological vulnerabilities, and understanding those vulnerabilities helps us make better decisions about what we believe and why. This self-awareness is a mark of maturity. Awareness, education, and critical thinking can guide individuals without requiring them to abandon faith altogether. In fact, many theologians and church leaders argue that genuine faith should welcome honest questioning and evidence-based thinking. This aligns with a robust intellectual tradition within Christianity. Can believers maintain strong faith while carefully, thoughtfully questioning extraordinary claims? Can churches teach discernment without breeding cynicism or intellectual arrogance? These are profound questions worth wrestling with, demanding both intellectual rigor and spiritual humility from all of us. Let's wrestle with the hardest questions this topic raises for Christians, researchers, and religious leaders. Why do some Christian conspiracy theories spread so widely and rapidly across America, often eclipsing more nuanced theological discussions? Do these stories ultimately challenge authentic faith, or do they paradoxically strengthen it by giving people certainty and purpose, albeit a potentially misguided one? And how should communities respond in ways that balance genuine trust, honest inquiry, and spiritual guidance without becoming thought police or creating echo chambers? This requires a delicate balance of pastoral care, theological education, and a commitment to truth. These questions don't have simple answers, but they are crucial for the health of faith communities in our information-saturated age. Christian conspiracy theories reflect something profound happening at the intersection of faith, uncertainty, and culture in modern America. They reveal real anxieties, real questions about authority and truth, and real human needs for meaning and community. Understanding them requires genuine curiosity, careful discernment, and deep respect for belief, even when we're questioning specific claims. The goal isn't to mock or dismiss, but to help people think more clearly about how we know what we think we know. Because in the end, truth matters, and if faith is true, it can withstand honest scrutiny. We invite you, whether you are a Christian seeking deeper understanding, a researcher exploring societal trends, or a religious leader guiding your flock, to engage with these complex issues. Reflect on the narratives you encounter, test them against scripture and reason, and foster environments of open, critical dialogue within your communities. This is the Scholar's Ledger, where history, faith, and power are revealed. Subscribe, share, and join us in the ongoing vital search for truth. Let us collectively commit to intellectual honesty and spiritual integrity in all our pursuits.